Hello everybody. So we're continuing our journey with the peacock. So the tarantula, when we left them, they were going through a period of kind of downtime. The elk had the elk had felt some kind of like intuition to kind of step forward, to take the lead in their own life, to become the divine masculine, if you will. The tarantula was talking about kind of looking at the details of a situation, facing obstacles, kind of grinding to a bit of a halt, doing a period of introspection and soul searching. We were also talking about how this tarantula kind of sheds its outer shell, a little bit like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon or a snake shedding its skin. So tarantulas grow and they actually shed their exoskeleton. So interesting that we lead into the butterfly now. So I'm seeing this as coming out of that period of being quite stagnant. The tarantula actually had an image of a lion that was that had turned to stone. So really interesting that we do have this lion here, and the next two readings we're going to have a lion coming up as well. So I am seeing this. And this is why I'm saying it's not like standalone pick a card readings to me. It's more of a narrative. So I'm seeing kind of like themes throughout. Another theme that's kind of been coming through the readings is this compass here as well. So again, like interesting to follow it through like this. So as I was talking about that lion turning to stone, you can see here she's actually coming to life again. So after a period of stagnation, coming to life, being like that butterfly coming out of the cocoon, or the tarantula coming out of its exoskeleton, if you will, coming out of a period of stagnation and introspection, and coming out looking really, really good, almost like harnessing this moon-like energy that we were talking about in the Emperor reading. And you can see there is actually a little butterfly here talking about the change. So again, the change was a key thing throughout the other two readings. So it could be having some kind of second chance at life, some kind of personal metamorphosis that somebody's undergoing. But yeah, this does lead into the compass card, which talks about finding your direction in your life, possibly taking a leap of faith there with that little frog. Yeah, so the butterfly on there, the butterfly here, and then you can see this person is setting out on a journey, and she's actually carrying the compass there, like allowing it to guide her, because she can't quite see all the twists and turns of this journey up ahead. Interesting as well that we have this yin yang symbol on the floor. And I was talking through the other readings about being very grounded. The tarantula actually had this equality card, and I was talking about somebody bringing in their divine masculine side with the divine feminine side, and finding that balance, right? Finding the balance within, the yin yang from within, not looking for external validation anymore. And yeah, finding the inner love for the self rather than trying to seek it outside of the self anymore. So coming quite strong. The Peacock card actually talks to me about the Nine of Pentacles. I associate it with that card in the tarot. The Nine of Pentacles talks about being in it's kind of like the Garden of the Gate card. So it shows somebody who's very abundant, looking really good, being quite fine, really having their own life sorted out, being quite stable and independent. Really quite a peacocky card, if you like, quite a flashy card. This person's quite impressive. They also may have a tendency to be on the wealthier side, but not necessarily. It's more somebody who has all the tools at their disposal to become wealthy, to take control of their own life. It's kind of like a mini empress or mini emperor to me, somebody on the journey getting their act together. So interesting thing about this peacock, I do see it as a masculine energy. The decorative, bright coloured peacocks are male, but there's a lot of feminine energy on these cards. So again, I do feel like this is some sort of, with that yin yang, it's like somebody balancing out the two sides of themselves, finding the middle ground within, right? The elk had this imagery of a woman at the top of the mountain on this kind of precipice, and the chaos that was happening around her, but she had this inner groundedness, this inner stability. That she was, she was not getting buffered by the storm. She was kind of like the eye of the storm. So something going on there with being, knowing who you are as a person, being quite proud of who you are, not getting kind of swept up in the external drama, knowing when it's time to take the lead and kind of, show off, if you like, with the peacock, and knowing when it's time to go a bit take that time out to do the introspection. So this for me talks about coming out of the period of introspection, ready to take action. I just want to point out as well all the kind of blue colours on these cards, the symbolism of the peacock, if you like, coming through throughout this whole reading. So you can see here she's kind of got these peacock blue colours, and the butterfly mask there, which, it does look kind of peacock-like, if you like. And here with the blue behind the compass, this peacock blue. This girl is wearing beautiful peacock blue robes. She's got kind of like a dragon coming off her arm as well there. Gorgeous. And then the kind of peacock blue of this butterfly here. I also want to point out as well, the blue flowers here to me are forget-me-nots. I may be wrong, but that's how I'm reading them today. Forget-me-nots. So don't you forget about me, which is interesting because the tarantula had I'm Still Here by Sia. So don't forget about me, I'm still here. Although I've gone quiet, although I've taken this period of rest, this introspection, maybe if you are connected with that tarantula card, it was talking about the World Wide Web, you could be connected with somebody at a considerable distance from yourself. So if that person goes quiet, don't worry, they're still there. They're just doing that period of processing. So that may be a message that somebody needs to hear. I'm going to write that song down, actually. Yeah, so I'm really seeing a kind of like union thing here going between the divine masculine and divine feminine within us, to become one with ourselves, right? So balancing this yin-yang energy within ourselves. So interesting, the elk had the full moon. The tarantula had a disseminating moon. So it's talking about the period after the full moon, after that peak of activity, that chaos, the quiet time where you can reassess. And now it's like the energy is building back up again. It's time to come back out, is the way I'm seeing it. So here you've got your commitment is being tested by the first quarter moon. So again, it could be a connection with you and somebody else, a period where your determination is being put to the test. The elk card was talking about mountains. This is a reoccurring symbolism throughout this set of readings. Mountains symbolizing obstacles that are put in your path. Now, sometimes that is to direct you onto a different course, and sometimes it's a test of faith. Do you really want it? They're giving me Cup of Life by Ricky Martin. Do you really want it? There we go. I made a note of that song. All the songs will be in the description box down below if you want to look them up. So let's read what the book has to say about your commitment is being tested. There could be some challenges coming your way. Again, the god Ganesha is giving us challenges for our own good. So this, again, going back to the elk reading, is talking about having faith, knowing that the universe has a plan, knowing that things are, we are exactly where we're meant to be, and we shouldn't stress about obstacles because there's a reason for it, right? So there could be some challenges coming your way, but they're just the universe's way of testing you. The first quarter moon calls for you to face any hurdles with confidence. The peacock, right, has confidence. The lion has confidence. We're being told to be confident, not meek like that little mouse in the reverse. What do you actually think is possible? Now, I've just mentioned the mouse. When we get to that reading, there's something about believing in the impossible with their reading. So again, keep this in mind. What do you actually think is possible? If you believe you can do it, then you probably can. If you spend your life affirming that something is too big for you to surmount, it probably is. See how it works. Do you believe your dreams will come true, or have you secretly already given up? Show some commitment now. Showing some commitment now will help you move forward towards your desired outcome. What you believe to be true is true for you. So believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, peacock, right? Have self-confidence. I am committed to my dreams and move towards them with confidence. The answer to your question is yes, but not yet. You're halfway to your goal. You still need to put in a bit more effort. Sometimes we just need to realize how much we want something. That one's really standing out to me. You need to recommit to something or someone. So it says, this moon can prompt a small crisis. No matter when you pull this card, you need to see any dramas as a stepping stone to where you want to be. It can also be a time when you need to stay strong through a storm. Now, I keep getting this, and this is how the stingray ends this set of readings, and how the elk began the set of readings. This very strong message about things changing around you. Again, transformation and change here with the butterfly. Things transforming around you, but you needing to stay very balanced balanced and strong throughout it all. It's like you need to be the eye of the storm. Find the calm in the chaos. It's a very strong message that's coming through throughout this whole set of readings. So yeah, obstacles are just the universe either redirecting you or testing your commitment. Do you really want it? As Ricky Martin says, our Lord and Savior Ricky Martin. So yeah, coming to life, coming out of that period of it's like it feels like something happened. It was a big change. It was quite chaotic. So there really was this need to go inwards to kind of do this processing, to reassess and to learn the lessons, right? To look at the fine details, because the mouse again says, look at the small details. So after that period of reassessment, it's like a polar bear or a bear coming out of its hibernation stage, right? But coming out feeling like you've got a new life, like you've got a new sorry about my little burp there. They gave me New Rules by, I think it's Dua Lipa. I've got new rules, I've got them. But I don't know if I'm not getting it strongly. But coming out with like a fresh skin, right? Coming out feeling refreshed, ready to tackle the world. But again, this kind of stone talks about the need to stay connected, to stay grounded, to not get lifted up too high, right? So there was something with the elk and the tarantula where there was these two energies. One was a higher perspective, which was like the divine feminine energy, which is shown as a winged energy throughout this set of readings. And then the grounded, more shamanic, earthy energy, which is coming through as that emperor elk energy. So it's finding the balance, finding not flying too high like Icarus, but not staying down too low so that you get stagnation. There's something about being in the middle, you know, the yin yang of it, the balance, the in between. So yeah, coming back to life. Let's read what this card has to say. I love it. It's like they're trying to give me, look, there's the Four of Swords again as well, that period of introspection. Something beautiful is being born in your life. When you look at your life, can you see how you've grown and evolved over time? Perhaps you've shed skins and identities and created new ones. Think about, you know, I'm coming up to 40. I'm 38. So if I think back about all the different trends that I kind of embraced, the different styles that I had, the different phases of my life, the different jobs that I did, definitely showing different sides of yourself and exploring your identity, right? So think about that. Perhaps you shed skins and identities and created new ones. Also, again, the tarantula shedding the old exoskeleton, right? Or at least, at the very least, matured in your ideas about yourself and the world you inhabit. You know things take time, and Spirit's timetable is rarely in sync with your own. This card indicates that a long-held dream is beginning to show signs of life. You must try not to coax it along or shape it according to your desires. Spirit knows what the best form for the manifestation of this dream is, and your life can become even better than you could possibly imagine. Now is the time for reverence and awe. Allow the contours of your path to be carved by the hand of the divine. All you have to do is show up, because you don't see the path, right? You don't see the path. So you can't shape this yourself, because you don't have the higher perspective that the universe has for you. So you have to use this kind of compass that, is it like your instinct or something, your belief in what your destiny is, and follow that. It's like your commitment is being tested. I feel like you know where you're going, you know where you're headed, you're just not quite sure how to get there. So let the universe illuminate the path for you. Use your instincts in this situation. So yeah, I do feel like, again, that tarantula, it knows when to take action and it knows when to pull back. So something about divine timing, but I feel like things are picking up again here at this section of the reading. Something beautiful is being born into your life. Trust the universe, because they have the highest perspective, right? So you stay grounded, stay balanced. I don't know. 50, compass. As long as you orient your compass to true north. Something about orient as well. East comes up later in the reading. And I lit a jasmine joss stick. And I was thinking about the word orient and oriental, and how language matters, and kind of how dated some language can become over time as the world becomes more interconnected. So there's something going on with that. Somebody may be moving eastwards especially because like the peacock as well. This is going to come up later, I think, in that stingray reading. There is an Eastern element, so watch out for that. As long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. So again, the elk, it was talking about Ganesha, the god, can place obstacles in your path because he wants you to move towards your highest good. So he wants you to act with integrity, and the more you act with integrity and high honor, the less obstacles you're going to face. You're entering uncharted territories right now and can expect wonderful new experiences. To stay high on the highest path of your destiny, you'll need to keep your compass pointed to true north. Only spirit or a higher power can serve this function. Money, prosperity, prestige, romance, and other material achievements can't help you find your true path. They are simply things you may experience along the journey. Know that spirit is working in your life, so even if you feel lost temporarily, it will be easy to find your way. Have faith and trust, for your compass with spirit as your true north will ensure that you'll never be lost, even on starless nights when all seems dark. So it felt to me like the elk right at the start of the reading was getting some kind of higher spiritual knowledge, some feeling of like destiny, of purpose. Then they hit the obstacles, which may be because they had some lessons to learn before they could move on. The obstacles took them into the tarantula energy, which was about staying still. But the tarantula also talks about how we're all connected, we're all one. You know, there's things like the water cycle that connects us all. So it's saying don't give up on your dreams, your commitment's being tested, but you may be in a cycle with the elk and the tarantula where you have to learn some sort of lesson before you're able to move forward. It's like the tarantula was saying, really look at the fine details, and really learn the lessons from the experience that you've been through with some kind of upheaval or change or storm. It felt like a tower energy had kind of hit. So now if we move to the talisman, right? A lesson truly learned is crystallized as eternal wisdom. So crystallized, this talks to me about the Libra diamond heart, and the and ice and crystals, and how light moves through crystals and creates rainbows. So truth as well revealed when you shine a light through something. So quite a lot of symbolism there with the ice and crystals. I was also talking about in the tarantula reading about how I saw a spider web with beads of water on it when I was a child, and the sun was shining through it, and it was very, very beautiful. So it's interesting that this crystallized business is coming up again. Light passing through crystal, something like that. A lesson truly learned is crystallized as eternal wisdom. You have all you need for the success you seek. So make sure you've learnt the lessons in that tarantula period. Wisdom allows you to recognize traps on the road and familiar patterns that you want to avoid. It also enables you to quickly gather information about where you are on your journey. It helps you to recognize your allies. Again, the tarantula and the elk, they had all this business about teaming up with somebody, the ability to trust others. So it helps you recognize your allies and knows how to find the best routes along the way. Now you're at a place where you know the right things to do and the best choices to make. You really can't commit a mistake. Whatever your inquiry, great fortune awaits you, for you have the wisdom to arrive at the right decision. Okay, the emperor had a decision. Sorry, the elk had a decision to make. I think no, the tarantula had the decision to make. Yeah. You've learnt your lessons and earned the right to your success. Okay, you've learnt the lessons, you've crystallized that knowledge, you know how to recognize your friends and your enemies now, you know who you want around you, you know who can help you. You just have to trust in it. Okay, this is the challenge for you, the ability to trust and to accept and embrace love, not only inner love like for yourself, but also love and support from others. This is kind of the hurdle, the obstacle here for this section of the reading, because the peacock is very independent. The peacock says, I'm really good on my own, look how good I am, everybody love me. But you're being asked to open up to love and support from other people. The ice here then is talking to me about coming out of this period of learning the lessons, of crystallizing the knowledge, and then being prepared to take action. So let me read from this book for you. The way forward is clear. Now you've got this message twice. You've got it here and you've got it here. Spirit is removing obstacles because you've learnt the lesson. So if you've got to this point, if you've broke out of the cycle from up there, you've learnt the lessons, you've looked at the small details, you've crystallized the knowledge. Now the universe is saying, right, it's time to take action. It's time to move. We're unblocking your path, right? We're going to guide you. So the way forward is clear. See nature in its purity. Let it comfort you and strip away what is unnecessary. Freeze out what is not of benefit to you at this time. When you look at things clearly, there will be a purity to the situation. So again, this thing about high honor, right? Purity, trust, faith, goodwill. So yeah, and then this butterfly card is actually called the soul. Okay, really beautiful. I'm just noticing her little coins there, that coin jewelry. I went to Turkey with my dad. I was about 11, and I really liked the kind of the coin jewelry that they had. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. Perhaps somebody's going to Turkey, from Turkey, some kind of association with that part of the world. Butterfly. Okay. So again, this is coming out of the cocoon, coming out of that period of hibernation, looking really beautiful and being prepared to, stand in the spotlight. To experience our full selves, we often go through a difficult period of transformation and growth. Trust what you feel. Right at the start of the reading, right, with that elk, trust what you feel. We all have stages to pass through in life, and not all are easy. Look ahead to where you wish to be, not to where you have been. Self-trust and the trust of your partner, again, this thing about teamwork, pairing up, are necessary for a positive relationship. So if you are in a relationship, you have to be able to trust each other. So the story here is, I really like this story. It's one of my favourite stories from Greek mythology. So Psyche was a mortal girl who was so beautiful that people came from all around to gaze and bask in her beauty. She was so appealing that people no longer went to the shrines of the goddess Aphrodite, instead forsaking her to look at Psyche. Aphrodite was angry and decided to punish Psyche and sent her son Eros, who shot arrows into people to make them fall in love, to shoot an arrow into Psyche and make her fall in love with the most vile creature on earth. However, when Eros saw Psyche, he was shocked by her beauty and accidentally pierced himself with his own magical arrow, thus falling in love with the mortal girl. He could not tell his mother because she hated Psyche so much, and he cast magic upon Psyche so that no other mortal could marry her. Psyche's father was amazed that he had no offers for her hand, even though she was the most admired girl in the kingdom. He went to the oracle at Delphi and asked Apollo what to do. The oracle said that Psyche must marry the man that she would meet on the top of a nearby dark mountain. So remember the thing about climbing the mountain. The elk gets it and it ends up in that stingray reading. Common thing, right? Something about the mountain being the obstacle, but you need to climb the mountain, right? You need to ascend. She would meet on top of the nearby dark mountain. Psyche's father took her to the top of the crag and left her there, telling her that her husband would come for her. Psyche was terrified. She thought she'd been left to die there, alone and unwanted. Then a wind stirred her hair, and a melodious voice said to her, "Come with me, my love, and I will take you to our home. You will be happy as always, but you may not see me." Psyche was swept away and soon found herself in a huge royal palace with beautiful food, and her husband, who she could not see but felt as pure love, and all of this was hers forever. She made love to her husband. She had never experienced such joyous ecstasy. She was happy, and she sent word to her father and sisters that she was married to a fine man. Her sisters soon came to visit, full of curiosity. When they saw the huge home and all the servants, they were jealous of their sister. They asked about the new husband and what he looked like, and Psyche innocently admitted that she could not tell them. The sisters savagely told Psyche that she must be married to an ugly monster, not a man, and laughed at her. Psyche defended her husband, but the idea of the monster was now planted in her mind. That night, after they had sweetly made love in the darkness, and she could hear her husband's rhythmic breaths of sleep, Psyche could not resist taking a candle and sneaking a look at her husband's form. There by her side was not a monster, but the most exquisite form of the god of love himself, Eros. So delighted was she that she tipped a little of the hot wax upon his arm accidentally, and he woke. Bitterly disappointed that she had broken his trust, he left her. Psyche was devastated and could only turn to the goddess of love herself, Aphrodite, for help, not knowing that the goddess was so against her. She prayed to Aphrodite, and the goddess told her that only if she successfully completed 3 tasks to prove her love for her son would she convince him to take her back. The tasks were seemingly impossible, even confronting Death himself, but Psyche prevailed in all of them. This angered Aphrodite even more, and she became set on making Psyche her slave. Other gods saw this wrongdoing and intervened, alerting Eros to everything his wife was enduring to win him back. Eros flew back to Psyche, they were reunited and forgave the other, and they were happy in their realm together. So, don't know, it's like this period of coldness, this period of separation, perhaps. Butterfly magic is key to growth and transformation of the soul. Going through trauma or difficulty helps reveal our true self and to grow into the full magnificence of the soul itself. Ease does not always mean growth, right? So this is talking about right back to the elk and the goat in the elk reading. It's seeing the obstacle and knowing that you have the ability to climb to the top of the mountain. Your commitment is being tested. Just because there's an obstacle placed in your path, it doesn't mean that you can't have what you want, okay? But trust spirit. Be in high honor. Allow the universe to guide you for your highest good, to find your true north. When you need help moving from one life stage to another, then butterfly magic can be useful, although patience is often needed to embody change fully. When you require a dose of beauty, hope, and lightness of spirit, and a reminder to live your life to the full, then butterfly energy can be just the thing. Okay, so a big thing about coming back to life after a period of rest, transforming, and then this real need for purity, but it can be like purity of thought, clarity of thought, if you like, or moving from a place where you are finding some kind of purity of the soul, right? Okay, but the obstacle for this section of the reading is the love card. Now, to me, this is saying, based on the elk and the tarantula readings, this is saying somebody could have been hurt in love a lot. Somebody could have felt like love was a burden. They were always hurt by the other person. They could find it very difficult to trust the intentions of others. But there is this purity card here. Somebody's intentions are pure. Now, the beautiful thing with the lion and the woman symbology here is the lion and the woman are often on the strength card. So this is love as strength, love as partnership, love as support. The elk reading had the Two of Cups. There's definitely a supportive connection here, whether it's yourself and spirit, whether it's divine masculine and divine feminine as two separate people, or whether this is two energies within yourself and you're learning to love yourself. The Peacock does say, learn to love yourself first before you extend that love to others. Because if you love yourself, other people can't hurt you because you're strong. You can't control the actions of other people, right? But then it can be quite difficult to there's something about faith. Now we are going to move to the lion card. Interesting that the lion and the mouse are next to each other as well, because if we're talking about fables, there's Aesop's fables where the mouse and the lion support each other. The king of the jungle, if you like, and this tiny little mouse. And this is why it's saying don't overlook the small details, because when the lion gets into trouble, the mouse comes along and the lion gets caught in a trap, it gets caught in a netting. The mouse comes along and nibbles the netting to allow the lion to escape. So people are there to support you and to, I don't know. And then there's this story about the girl who pulls the thorn out of the lion's paw and then he protects the girl. So there's a lot of stuff about helping each other and protecting each other here with that lion symbolism and strength, and it's coming through with this love card as the bond between people. So like I say, this is the obstacle though. So it could be that somebody looks for love outside of themselves too much and they really need to find the love within first. Or it could be that somebody's scared of opening up and allowing somebody into their life because they're scared of getting hurt. So they're trying to maintain their independence. They're trying to say the good on their own. So take it whichever way it resonates there. Maybe that's going to develop further as we kind of go through the reading. But this card says, so again, this is the obstacle, right? In all of life, there is only the illusion of separation. Interesting, because that tarantula was talking about connectivity. The illusion of separation. In fact, we are all reflections of one another. When I make choices, I tend to see things as either or. What if every choice I make is about an experience, a sharing, and an exploring? When I choose to see the unity in all things, magic abounds. Love is all around me. Spirit loves me unconditionally, and I can give and receive abundant love. So yeah, it's talking about with it being like the soul and the purity of the soul and all this spiritual energy and soul searching, it really feels like somebody finding that unconditional love of universal energy, right, of spirit for the self. Because once you have that, you're very, very strong, and you are able to extend that to others unconditionally, not expecting anything back in return. So let's pull you an advice card, and we'll get a song to close out this section of the reading, and then we'll move on to the octopus. So, or if you know, maybe you're treating this as a Peacock card reading and you're just going to read the Peacock reading, in which case I hope it was helpful to you. It does seem like things are picking up and you're being encouraged to kind of put your best foot forward, to present the best version of yourself, and to kind of maybe experiment with your style, you know, your external style, your identity, to be quite expressive. But make sure you've learned any lessons from that period of quiet, of stillness, and act in high honour. Yeah. So what's the best advice, please, for the people coming to the Peacock reading? What is the Peacock reading trying to teach us, please? What is the Peacock reading trying to teach us? Best advice, please. Everybody's getting the protection message. Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacles. I'm just really noticing this kind of thing around his neck there. This is reminding me of the peacock that comes out in the stingray reading. So let's read what Rhino spirit has to teach us. So number 50. And you're getting the protection message. It's funny because I don't often get reversals, which indicates the protection message, but every single reading so far, every card that's come out from this deck has been in the reverse. So it's unusual for that to happen. Normally, like say I pull 10 cards, one might be in the reverse. So interesting that they're all in the reverse so far. I'm on the wrong page. Okay, so the protection message. The appearance of an obstacle in front of you. Unbelievable, because we were talking about that right from the start with Ganesha and the mountains. And elephants, right? Ganesha's got the elephant head. Elephants are able to overcome the mountains. You may want to go and look at the elephant readings I've been doing. You know, Hannibal did the impossible by leading the elephants through the Alps. So what may be perceived as impossible may actually be possible if you have enough determination. The appearance of an obstacle in front of you offers a choice. Barrel into it and bang your head, or find the easiest way around it and don't fight it. Are you exhausted by your efforts to break through an obstacle? Are you stubbornly insisting there is only one way to remove it from your path? Rhino Spirit is here to tell you that sometimes the answer is no, sometimes it's a no, not yet, or sometimes it's a no, not the way you think it should be. That's what it was saying here. It was saying, yes, you are going to where you want to go. Your commitment's being tested. Your commitment's being tested by this obstacle that's put in your path. But you can have it. It's not that you can't have it. It's not that you're being blocked from it. You're being tested. But you need to let spirit be your guide and not try and force your way through, is the way this is coming through. It's like the answer is yes, but be guided by spirit and not bullheaded. You know, with this compass, you know, it's she can't see. How can she possibly know how to tackle this path if she can't see it? The universe can see. So use that intuitive compass to go with the flow, to follow the steps that you're guided to take by spirit and not try to force it. Open to new possibilities and you will find other options begin to appear. Not every conflict is worth engaging in. We keep getting that. Don't engage in the conflict. Be the eye of the storm. Be the calm. And not every obstacle is worth resisting head on. Don't waste energy banging your head against the wall. I had that for someone a while back, and it was like somebody was just repeatedly banging their head against a door trying to get through. It was like, as soon as you stop, the door will open. So stop trying to barge your way through something, and just let the universe open the door for you. The showing me imagery is kind of like a joke. It's talking about gender politics. So it's they're showing me a woman trying to get through a door, and she's trying to pull the door open. She's trying to pull it, and it's not opening. And there's a guy on the other side of the door just kind of like you know, watching, sort of offering to help, but she's determined to open this door herself. And then as soon as she lets it go, the guy on the inside, because it's like a glass door, I can see both sides, the guy on the inside just pushes it. No, he opens it, he pulls it. So she's trying to, no, I'm sorry, I'm getting it mixed up. Maybe it's meant to be mixed up. Maybe it's because this is the misunderstanding, right? Who should be pushing, who should be pulling? So the woman's trying to push the door open. The guy opens, no, the guy, I can't see, actually, I'm getting myself confused, but it's like one person's trying to push when actually you don't need to push, you need to pull. So it's something to do with push pull. So don't push, let the other person push. That's so confusing to me, but there's definitely something in that message. Whatever you're trying to do the opposite. I think is what that's saying. Or maybe two people are trying to push. Both people on both sides of the door are trying to push, and that's why the door's not opening, because the force is the same. One person needs to push and the other needs to pull, or vice versa. So there's something to do with, like, sometimes force isn't the way through, because if people are forcing both sides, then the door's not going to open. That's a really interesting kind of visual that they're giving me there. And it's funny that I got all mixed up, but it still made sense as the message that was trying to come through. So, yeah, I like it when that happens. So let's get you a song. So for the people connecting to the Peacock section of this reading, what are you really trying to teach us? Can you give us a song to kind of really make the message clear for us, please? What do we need to hear if we're resonating with this Peacock song? Mambo number 5. Okay, make of that what you will. Mambo number 5. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need. I don't know who you're dealing with, but again, you know, I was talking about, it could be that somebody's been quite hurt by previous relationships and they've lost the ability to trust. Maybe every person they've had a relationship has been a bit of a player, and now they think everybody's a player. I don't know. Take it as it resonates for you. Take whatever messages come out for you. Maybe go and look up the lyrics and watch the video and just see if there's anything else in there that kind of like jumps out to you. Whatever you're feeling with that song, that's what you're meant to be feeling. That's part of what Spirit's trying to communicate to you. So if you're like, I love that song, or I hate that song, that's part of the message for you personally. The Spirit knows, right? So yeah, if you resonated with the Peacock reading, I really hope you've enjoyed it. Leave me a like, subscribe, leave me a message in the comments if anything is particularly resonated. If you think it's a friend's story, maybe share the video with them. It all really helps out the channel, and I appreciate it. To those of you that do this, this is kind of just striking me as Gemini energy now that I think about it, because Geminis have been super supportive on my channel recently. If you're coming in as a stealth watcher, I totally understand that. So you don't have to feel obliged to do any of those things. And yeah, thank you for getting to this part of the reading. I really appreciate you just coming here and viewing the channel and enjoying the story with me. So for those of you who are on this story journey with me throughout all these different decks, the next card reading that we're going to move on to is going to be the octopus reading. So I'll see you guys there. But for those of you who are leaving me, do take care. I hope you have a brilliant week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.